Good morning, Aries. How are you? Today is March 19th. I don't know about you guys, but the Pisces energy this last week just took me out. I was in like the weirdest emotional funk, didn't want to get out of bed. My only food of choice was like red wine. It was rough, but today is feeling much better, actually, thank God. And the good news is that tomorrow Aries season starts. I will actually my birthday is on the 25th. So first, happy birthday to all the Aries. Mine's on the 25th, and I will actually be in New York because I took a look at my solar return chart this year for where I am. I live in Italy, and it was, excuse me, I have allergies. It was so shit that I booked a trip to New York where my chart is better. So I will get the reading done before I leave and post it next Saturday. But so let's take a quick look at the transits for this week. It's because it's pretty busy actually. So March 19th, tomorrow, Venus in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. Now that is at the same degree, Venus is at the same degree as the new moon in Aquarius that happened back in February. And so the squares are always choice points, right? Like, do you want to pursue, and these are real questions. You'll have opportunities to like face these decisions. And it's, do you want to change or do you want to stay still? Should I stay? Should I go? And there will be very specific things that come up around that. Also because, so we have March 19th, Venus square Uranus. March 20th, Sun moves into Aries. March 21st, or 22nd, excuse me, Mars squares Uranus. Mars square Uranus is not an aspect I love. It's like two people that you don't want fighting. It is also at the same degree of February's new moon. So the first will be about what brings you pleasure, and the second will bring about what do we want to do, right? And there could be surprises around there. Now, Venus square Uranus, just a heads up for some people, can bring like breakups out of nowhere. So you could be on the phone, you could meet somebody out of nowhere, you could also break up with them out of nowhere. And then also with Mars square Uranus, it's like something you do could cause a surprise chain reaction. So those are 2 days that you want to be a little bit cautious of, like the things you say, the things you do, move kind of in a measured fashion. There are days that you want to make sure that you have your wits about you, let's say. It doesn't mean that it'll stop the things from happening, but if you're at least in control of your energy, you can face it better. Then on March 23rd, we have Mercury in Pisces conjunct Neptune. That is very trippy energy, bringing in the information from the ethers. And the same day, we have Mercury sextile the North nodes, which are in Taurus. Now, that will also give you guidance. So what you channel in is going to give you guidance about your destiny, where you should go. Could be some sort of aha moment, may come in a dream, may come through art or something. So pay attention to your feelings on the 23rd. And then on the 26th, Mercury sextiles Pluto. So whatever it was that thought that came up on the 23rd is actually beneficial to whatever transformation is going on in your life right now. That said, let's get on to also, if you are interested in a birthday reading, I'm doing those readings again. I will put a link to the video that has all the information there. I have like a whole bunch of different types this year. Some less expensive, some more expensive. And just let me know. So overall energy for Aries, please, the week of March 19th. Okay. All right, instinct. And this is interesting because this is all about like, howling with the moon, listening to the moon, following the energies that you feel around you. And the Sabian for the degree that Venus and Mars are on that are going to square Uranus, which is where there was that new moon in February, is the barometer, right? So it's really about sort of sensing what's around you. And that's also that Mercury and Neptune right there. So this is going to be a very big week to pay attention to perhaps the clues that you don't see, but that you feel. You're going to want to feel into your answers. Like I said, if you get these situations that bring choices, which the squares usually are, find a way to feel into the answers, because the truth may not be completely on the surface. Okay, can I get the challenge energy for Aries, please? Okay. Five of Pentacles. So you may feel like you're stuck behind a wall, like wanting to move forward, but not being able to. You may be thinking that like the grass is greener on the other side, or also just kind of feeling like a sense of, that you're like weighed down and you wish things could be lighter, and that you're chained in a circumstance that's not allowing you to enjoy the joy and freedom around you. And that may have something to do with those two squares, right? The squares to Uranus may give you the energy to bust out of this jail here. Now let's get the lesson. I know I was very much in Five of Pentacles energy this past week, so it's not pretty. Can I get the lesson for Aries for the week of March 19th? On the other hand, I mean, there's like four planets in Pisces, so what can we do? Okay, interesting. Radha, the soul flame. It talks about rediscover a lost part of yourself. Interesting. And here's the kid again, right? That inner child healing once again that's been coming up again and again. Experience relationship harmony and healing. So it's also like, and this is interesting because there's the one and then there's the two, right? So there's the one and then there's two people here. So it seems to me that that this is also about connections, right? If you're feeling alone, to reach out, to not isolate yourself, to find people that make you feel good and spend time with them. Or, also like if you are in situations of two that make you feel alone, that that if that's not relationship harmony and providing healing, then perhaps it's a prison. Or have you gotten yourself into a situation where it looks like there's a beauty on the other side, that everything's nice on the other side, but somehow you're trapped in here. So what's keeping you trapped? Is it you? Is it the circumstances? Is it your thoughts? Is it your mind? Or is it, old childhood patterns? Can I get the energy at the end of the week, please? Okay. Interesting. So we have 42 and 44 here. So the 42 that came out is the chop wood. Now this is a card that says stay very focused. Do what's in front of you. Focus on the little things, on the details. It's like there may also be a situation where it's like you're stuck here because you're so busy staring at what isn't. And what this card suggests is to pay attention on the little things that you can do, what's immediately in front of you. And it's usually actually and it's interesting because we got the thinker here. And the thinker is in reverse. So the thinker in reverse kind of talks about like getting stuck into analysis paralysis. Now, I don't know. So there may be some situation that you're trying to evaluate, or that like you're pushing for an answer and trying to just get it, but it's not accessible on that level. It's going to have to come in from the inside, right? And sort of tuning into old energies. And the way that those things tend to come up here is, when you're in the shower, like ideas come to you, it's because your mind, I think I mentioned this last week too, your mind is shut off. It's not, it's receptive. There's also the water, which is literally cleansing you, giving you access to a part of your mind or a part of your connection, letting you pay attention to the connections that you normally wouldn't with your conscious mind. You're thinking from your subconscious. And so this is kind of the energy that I'm getting here. Let me get 3 more cards. Right, but there's definitely overthinking here, and the overthinking is making it worse, right? I get 3 cards for Aries for the week of March 19th. Way too many. 3 cards, please. All right. Okay. Well, so I'm going to show you the not so nice ones, and then I see what fell on the floor, so I'll save that for the grand finale. So here we go, right? The focus, like stop focusing on what isn't and pay attention to what is. And I was 100% in this energy last week. And I am part of like this little group where you have to like post your wins for the week. And so I was like, like feeling sorry for myself. I was like, I don't want to, but I will. And I posted the wins that I got that week. And I was like, what the hell am I whining about? Like, this was a phenomenal week. So it's all very much in the mindset, right? And it's kind of like just focus on what's in front of you as opposed to trying to solve the mysteries of life. Or spending so much time. We got 2 5s here, right? So instead of spending so much time trying to solve all the puzzles, just focus on what you can do right now. This is what these 2 things echo. And the card that fell on the floor is the Emperor, right? So this energy, I really feel like also when the Aries energy comes in, it's gonna help us dump some of this Pisces energy. Although, so when is it? Is it on the, I think it's like the 27th, Mercury moves into Aries. So that will alleviate some of this energy right here. This stuff right here is Pisces that's screwing us over. And it's because there's currently like the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, all there. So it's really heavy energy. The Sun will move tomorrow, which is great. And then Mercury moves in a week. But Mercury in these last degrees, like I said, he's very active this week. So it's like instead of what he's trying to give us information, very useful information for our transformation and for our future steps in our destiny. And we may not be accessing the information he's trying to give because we're in this kind of wallowing state. And so the idea here is to get out of your wallowing state and like focus your conscious mind elsewhere so that your subconscious can start to work. But focus your subconscious mind on things that are not big, giant emotional problems. And then he emerges at the end of the reading. Now, since Mercury is so busy, I pulled out my deck here because I wanted to see what messages he brings. I actually want to clarify this card too because it kind of sticks out in this reading. So I want to see what else. All right. I gotcha. Okay. So here we have the candle, the illumination. And let's see what this has to say. I love this deck. It's so well written. Okay, so you have been asking for something for a long time now. Here we are, asking for something. Be assured that very soon the answer or solution you have been waiting for will be illuminated, right? But notice the language. It says illuminated, not like you're not going to stumble on it in your overthinking. So too often you have dismissed direct divine guidance, mistaking it for your own thoughts, which you have then analyzed and pushed to the back of your mind. Instead, it is time for you to realize your natural claircognizant, clear knowing abilities and accept that this is how you receive your messages from spirit. Now, I just want to spend a second talking about claircognizance because people have told me that that's what I have, where you just know things without knowing it. The problem is that you only know that you know when you get confirmation from someone else, right? So I will say something and people will be like, how did you know that? Or I'll say something, they'll call me back and be like, oh, you were right about that thing. But sometimes for ourselves, we get these same kind of claircognizant messages, but we don't trust them because we don't have confirmation. And so we spend our time, drowned in thought, trying to figure it out, and then feeling bad that we can't move past, like we don't get any progress. We get stuck because we're stuck thinking because the answer, we can't find the right answer. So doing so will enable you to clearly understand your next steps as your ideas will appear as bright burning candles lighting your way. You can trust the messages you have been given. Allow your inner light to shine brightly. For by doing so, you illuminate the way for others to follow. And that's been coming up for a long time. And I think one of the things, I'll just share also some of my own personal experience with this. One of the things that you want to stick to, and this is why the flame comes up with the Emperor here. It's like, so if we talk about going in and trusting your feelings, right, as opposed to your conscious thoughts, trusting your instincts, or the things that you feel led to do, which you then may talk yourself out of. When you feel that fire, right? There it is, the flame. Now it makes sense. So when you feel that fire inside of you that literally lights you up when you think about it, that's this row right here, this alignment of instinct, Emperor instinct that brings the light that shines, right? When we're stuck in our head is not when we're doing ourselves a total disservice because we're stuck in a prison. We're not stuck like in the light. We're going over it, but based on other people's thoughts, other people's conditionings, fear, our past, right? So anytime we engage sort of our active rational thinking, we're doing it so from a different place. And what it's saying right now is that the answer is there, but it's going to come from a different channel. Because we're in Pisces, it's going to come from a different channel of information. And so you have to pay attention to, it's like, while you're busy doing your life and just focusing on what you need to focus on for right now without like the big picture questions, those little those little flames of yes, or what I'd like to do, or what would make me happy, and this is that Venus Uranus square. What I think I'd like to do, but and then the but is the square. So when you get those flashes of light, they're like, oh, but this could be an interesting idea. Oh, but I would really like to do that. That's this piece talking, right? And you want to go into that flame because that's how it talks to you. That's how the universe, especially as an Aries, is communicating with you. Now, the incantation here is, as I stare into the flame, mistrust gone, I release all blame. Through the glow, now I see, answers are revealed to me. And then it says here, soon you will understand, an answer to a problem or a question will be revealed. Be careful not to dismiss your ideas and psychic abilities. Trust, get more sunshine, and that's a big one. Open the curtains and let light in. Shine like the star you are. And if you want to do a sort of like candle ritual to help yourself or to channel that energy, We are still under the full moon energy for a couple, like until tomorrow. So they was talking about doing a cleansing ritual. So maybe candles are a good way for you to do it. I'll get one last piece of advice here, even though I feel like this is pretty clear, but no, I'm going to do I have that deck? I do not. I wanted to do a spirit animal, but I'll take that as a sign. Let's do this one. Okay. So here we have the goddess Isis and Isis crystal. And the message is, she shall always prevail. And it's interesting because it's a 51, right? And I was just talking about the fives here. And this is the five. It's like the 5 moves forward. So let's read this for a second. Oh, and this is a 6, and this is a 6. Okay, so, where was I? Okay, we bring you the empowerment of she shall always prevail. There is something magnificent in the human spirit when one chooses to believe in oneself. Life rallies to strengthen and encourage it. It is the expression of will to live, not from a place of fear and death, but of a brave, defiant boldness that refuses to give up on what matters most. You have had your share of heartbreak and disappointment, and yet rather than bitterness in your heart, you chose love. You have your moments of doubt and despair. That was last week, and it sounds like it's going to continue. And yet deep in your heart, you chose to continue on. You have the spirit of Isis in you, the good one. And just like the universal mother expressing herself through Isis, you too shall prevail. Okay, nice. So basically the universe telling us that this space here is not where we need to be. Really channeling the fire, the courage, the centeredness, the pick this road, you know. And it will come to you, whatever this question is that you have that you cannot get answered, it will come to you simply by doing the like sort of menial tasks that are involved in the day to day. And it's going to come in like a flash of instinct, light, inspiration, just kind of like knowing. Trust those signals that come from you. Trust the little sparks of flame. Whenever you notice that you're not here, but you're like, ooh, you know what I'd like? That go in that direction. Go down there. All right, awesome. Happy birthday to all the early Aries. So it'll be from tomorrow until the 26th. So happy birthday to my early Aries. And I will talk to you next week. Take care.